Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Lisa, and in this video we're going to talk through how I've completed this dog and how I've gotten all of that black shiny fur. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe, and if you feel like you'd like to give this one a go or just practice your pet portrait skills, you can check me out on Patreon where I have some step-by-step tutorials over there. We have a large range of different animals over there that have full-length tutorials that you can follow along to. You get given the line art, the reference photo, material list, and everything you need to complete this one all by yourself. And new tutorials are uploaded every month, and we also complete polls to see what members want to work on next. So let's get started drawing Ruby. So this is my friend's dog, and I do have the pleasure of knowing Ruby. She's very outgoing and very tall. So when completing this sort of thing, I always start with the eyes. It really just puts in a bit of personality, a bit of character, and it is a really good place for you to start to build on from. Now, when you start a piece like this, it does sometimes take a little bit of time to get used to the technique you're going to be using to put the fur down, the way that you're going to layer the pencils, and also the colors you're going to use and the techniques you're going to use to get this sort of fur. It's really important to have your reference photo up somewhere you can see it, so you can see all of the fur direction changes and also where the light is hitting the animal, so you can keep that a little bit brighter to show the bone structure of the animal. So the undercolors for this dog is very cool tone, so there are a lot of blue tones underneath. So what I do is go through with a base of the cold grey one, build in some of the sky blue where you can see that blue color, and then just start to get darker with the cold grey 4, cold grey 6. You can also work in some of the dark sepia and the black. So there are a lot of different greys that help build up this kind of fur, making it have more dimensions, and this will help it make it look more realistic. When it comes to really dark pieces like this, or when you want to have a really saturated color with color pencils, one of the best ways to do this is by using a liquid solvent. So the one I use is Zest It Pencil Blend with a paintbrush, and you go in, put in your layers, and then you can blend over it and then go back in with more layers to make it darker. In the tutorial, you're given a material list which outlines everything that you need to complete this one, including the pencil blender. And what you want to make sure you're doing, especially with dogs with short fur like this, is make sure that you're studying your reference photo, seeing where you can see the longer and shorter pieces of fur, and mimic the length of the fur with your color pencil. So where on the muzzle it is very, very short, you want to go in with sort of little dots and lines to depict this sort of fur. And having a really sharp pencil is so helpful with getting really precise fur lines like this. And then on the face, you can see there are a couple of whiskers that I've added in. So I'm just used an embossing tool to add this in. If you're not familiar with an embossing tool, it's just like a metal tool that you can indent the page with. So you go in with this, make your whisker lines, and then just being very careful when you go over with your color pencil not to go into them too much. And for color pencil artists, you know that you just need to have patience. So you really just need to work up these layers gradually and then blend them down and then build them up again. It is a process, and it does take a long time and a lot of practice. But with these tutorials and my Patreon, you can go through and complete this with real-time instructions and everything you need. So with the ear, you can see the process a lot clearer. So I've gone in with a base of the cold grey 1, starting to add in some of the cold grey 4 to map out all of those darker areas. Go through and blend down with the sky blue where you can see the bluest sections. And then we're just starting to go in and get darker with the black, dark sepia, and the cold grey 6. Then we'll go through and blend it down with our pencil blender, and then while that's drying we'll move on to another section so that we keep the progress up, keep working through. And then coming back to the ear and continuing on to darken up and add in all of those little details. Making sure to have your reference photo by your side so you can see where all of the light and dark sections are. Then after putting in the collar, I then moved on to the body. I really find this sort of texture really therapeutic to put in because it's just a lot of shading, putting your pencil on the side, mapping out where you can see all those darker areas, and then starting to build up the darker areas with all of the darker tones. I'd put in a couple of layers of the darker tones to map out where everything is, and then also go in with some of the burnt ochre, the sky blue, where you can see the blue, and there was a little bit of an orange tone to this dog as well, so I put in a little bit of the burnt ochre, which is an orange. Blending it all down with the colour pencil blender really helps to saturate that colour and make it nice and dark. And then it's just a matter of waiting for that to dry and then going through with our black, dark sepia and cold grey 6 and starting to darken everything up. Also went through with some white pencil to add in a couple little highlights here and there. And this is the final result. I really hope that you like this video. Remember to like and subscribe. In the description below, I'll put a link to this tutorial and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks guys.